CertPunch practice round for Ethical Hacking v13, 312-50, 21 questions. Read the prompt, choose the best answer before the reveal, then listen for the exam logic behind it. Let's begin. Question 1 of 21. As a cybersecurity professional in XYZ Corporation, you've been assigned to investigate an anomaly in the system logs that suggest possible unauthorized activities. The system administrators detected repeated failed login attempts on a critical server, followed by a sudden surge in outbound data traffic. These events, while discrete, are raising concerns that the system may have been compromised. Given the high stakes and sophisticated nature of this potential security breach, what should be your initial course of action to manage this situation effectively? Option A, immediately alter the credentials of the server and notify all users to change their passwords. Option B, conduct real-time monitoring of the server, scrutinize the logs for unusual patterns, and identify the nature of the activities to devise an immediate countermeasure. Option C, conduct a thorough audit of all outbound traffic and scrutinize the destination IPs to gain insights into the attacker's network. Option D, immediately disconnect the suspicious server from the network to prevent further data exfiltration. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. The correct initial action is real-time monitoring to understand the threat before acting. This prevents premature actions like disconnecting the server, which could destroy evidence needed for a proper investigation. Question 2 of 21. As a cybersecurity consultant, you are helping a small startup strengthen its information security awareness. During an internal audit, an employee reports finding a USB drive labeled Employee Salary Info 2024 in the company parking lot. Curious, they plugged it into their office computer, after which the system began behaving erratically. What kind of social engineering attack does this scenario represent? Option A, using a discarded document to retrieve sensitive corporate information. Option B, attempt to bypass physical security by closely following an authorized employee. Option C, tempting the victim to engage with a malicious device using curiosity. Option D, impersonating a senior staff member to extract login credentials. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. This is a classic baiting attack, exploiting the victim's curiosity. The Employee Salary Info label is designed to trigger an emotional response, leading to the malicious act of plugging in the device. Question 3 of 21. As a security analyst, you're investigating an incident where an attacker was able to gain access to your network. Upon initial examination of the log files, you noticed a large number of TCP SYN packets sent to various ports on the network, but with no corresponding ACKs. What type of scanning technique do you think the attacker may have used? Option A, the attacker has used a TCP connect scan to establish a full TCP connection with the target. Option B, the attacker has used an XMAS scan to determine the open and closed ports on the network. Option C, the attacker has used a SYN scan, also known as half-open scanning, which involves sending SYN packets and waiting for SYN ACK responses. Option D, the attacker has used a SYN ACK scan to trick the firewall into allowing the packets to pass through. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. The attack is a SYN scan because it sends SYN packets to initiate a connection, but does not complete the handshake, allowing it to scan for open ports without logging a full connection attempt. Question 4 of 21. A company's customer data stored in a cloud environment has been exposed due to an unknown vulnerability. Which of the following types of attack most likely led to this incident? Correct answer. Option A, exploitation of misconfigured security groups. Option B, brute force attack on user passwords. Option C, denial of service, DOS attack on cloud servers. Option D, side channel attack on the hypervisor. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. Misconfigured security groups are a primary cause of data breaches in cloud environments, as they can accidentally expose storage buckets or virtual machines to the public internet. Question 5 of 21. As a newly appointed ethical hacker for XYZ Corporation, you have been assigned your first major task. The company has been facing persistent cyber threats, and as a precautionary measure, you are tasked to conduct a thorough network vulnerability assessment. Your key objective is to efficiently map out all open ports and associated services in the organization's expansive network. Simultaneously, it's of paramount importance that your activities remain stealthy and do not trigger the Advanced Intrusion Detection Systems, IDS, employed by the organization. Given these requirements, which scanning technique would you opt for to achieve your task with maximum efficacy and discretion? Option A, TCP Connect Scan. Option B, Stealth Scan, SYN Scan. Option C, ACK Scan. Option D, FIN Scan. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. A SYN scan is the ideal choice because it's a half-open connection that doesn't complete the TCP handshake, making it stealthy and less likely to trigger traditional IDS signatures. Question 6 of 21. Which of the following best describes the role of a penetration tester? Correct answer. Option A. A security professional hired to identify and exploit vulnerabilities with permission. Option B. A developer who writes malicious code for cyber attacks. Option C. A hacker who gains unauthorized access to systems for malicious purposes. Option D. A hacker who spreads malware to compromise systems. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. This correctly defines a penetration tester as an authorized professional who mimics an attack to find vulnerabilities, which distinguishes them from malicious hackers. Question 7 of 21. During an internal security audit, the cybersecurity team at a large healthcare organization detects abnormal patterns in DNS resolution behavior on the corporate internal network. Several employees report that when they attempt to visit legitimate internal and external websites, they are redirected to login pages that appear slightly altered. Upon deeper inspection, security logs reveal that DNS responses are being returned from an internal IP address that is not an authorized DNS server. These rogue responses are consistently faster than the legitimate replies from the corporate DNS server. Around the same time, network monitoring tools register a sharp spike in ARP spoofing alerts originating from a specific subnet. The organization becomes concerned that sensitive login credentials and personal health data may have been intercepted by an insider. Given this scenario, what type of sniffing-based attack is most likely being executed? Option A. DNS cache poisoning from an upstream DNS resolver. Option B. Proxy-based DNS redirection over remote tunnels. Option C. Intranet DNS poisoning via local spoofed responses. Option D. Internet DNS spoofing via altered primary DNS settings. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. This is intranet DNS poisoning because the attack is happening internally with rogue DNS responses, confirmed by the faster spoofed replies and ARP spoofing on the local network. Question 8 of 21. During a red team exercise, an attacker dresses as a network technician and gains unchallenged access to a restricted area. Once inside, he roams freely, observing employees and reviewing sensitive documents left unattended. Which of the following tactics best represents this scenario? Correct answer? Option A. Gaining physical access by assuming the identity of a trusted internal staff. Option B. Collecting confidential information by digging through trash bins. Option C. Calling the help desk and claiming to be a high-ranking executive needing urgent access. Option D. Pretending to offer remote tech support over a call to obtain credentials. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. This question perfectly tests social engineering tactics, specifically physical impersonation, a core red teaming skill. The wrong options are weaker because they describe different attack vectors, like dumpster diving and phishing. Question 9 of 21. As a cybersecurity analyst for a leading multinational company, you have unearthed evidence suggesting a breach. Analysis indicates that sophisticated steganography techniques are in play, allowing the hacker to exfiltrate data by cleverly embedding it within image files. Confronted with the deceptive nature of steganography and its potential implications, which course of action offers the best chance to detect and counteract this clandestine threat? Option A. Implement a robust firewall to intercept all outgoing network traffic from your servers, aiming to disrupt any data exfiltration attempts. Option B. Leverage a network traffic analyzer, keenly observing the nuances of outbound traffic for any irregularities suggestive of data exfiltration. Option C. Roll out an intrusion prevention system, IPS, geared towards identifying and neutralizing further unauthorized server activities. Option D. Engage a specialized steganalysis tool to scrutinize questionable files, decode the obscure data, and reveal the hacker's exfiltration methodology. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. This directly tests steganalysis knowledge for detecting data exfiltration, a key forensic skill. The trap is that network-based tools can't detect hidden data within files. Question 10 of 21. As a certified ethical hacker, you have been approached by a leading international corporation to assess and enhance their cloud-based security framework. The corporation recently transitioned to a serverless computing architecture for its e-commerce application and experienced significant improvements in scalability and cost efficiency. However, they fell victim to an intricate attack where an unauthorized user manipulated their cloud service's function as a service (FaaS) component to execute malicious commands. Your investigation revealed that the attack originated from an insecure third-party API used within one of the serverless functions. Given the attack's complexity, what would be your recommended countermeasure for strengthening the security posture? Option A. Deploying a cloud-native security platform, CNSP, that provides comprehensive protection across all cloud resources. Option B. Implementing a function-level permission model and enforcing the principle of least privilege. Option C. Using a cloud access security broker, CASB, to enforce security policies for third-party cloud services. Option D. Regularly update the serverless functions to patch vulnerabilities and reduce the attack surface. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. This is an excellent question for modern cloud security, testing least privilege in serverless architectures. It correctly identifies that function-level permissions are the most direct countermeasure to the attack described. Question 11 of 21. An ethical hacker is conducting a penetration test on a company's network with full knowledge and permission from the organization. What is this type of hacking called? Correct answer. Option A, white hat hacking. Option B, black hat hacking. Option C, blue hat hacking. Option D, gray hat hacking. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. White hat hacking is correct because it explicitly involves authorized, ethical penetration testing with permission. Other options imply unauthorized or malicious activity. Question 12 of 21. A company implements WPA3 for its internal Wi-Fi. An attacker attempts a crack attack, key reinstallation attack. Why is WPA3 more resilient to this than WPA2? Option A. WPA3 uses 512-bit encryption for the handshake. Option B. WPA3 requires a physical hardware token for every connection. Option C. WPA3 disables the four-way handshake completely. Option D. WPA3 uses the simultaneous authentication of equals, SAE protocol, which is resistant to passive observation and key reinstallation. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. WPA3 uses SAE, which is resistant to key reinstallation. Option C is a trap because SAE replaces, not disables, the handshake. Question 13 of 21. During an ethical hacking exercise, a security analyst is testing a web application that manages confidential information. The analyst suspects the application may be susceptible to SQL injection attacks. Which of the following payloads will most likely reveal if the application is vulnerable to time-based blind SQL injection attacks? Option A, apostrophe union select null 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 dash dash. Option B, apostrophe or 1 equals 1 dash dash. Option C, apostrophe and 1 equals 0 union all select admin admin dash dash. Option D, apostrophe and benchmark 5 million in code test test dash dash. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. The benchmark payload introduces a delay to test time-based vulnerabilities. Option B is a trap because it tests for basic SQL injection, not blind injection. Question 14 of 21. An ethical hacker is auditing a hospital's wireless network, which is currently secured with WPA encryption using TKIP. The hacker successfully demonstrates packet injection and decryption attacks on the network. Which vulnerability in WPA most likely allowed these attacks to succeed? Option A, dependence on weak passwords. Option B, lack of AES-based encryption. Option C, use of weak initialization vectors, IV. Option D, predictable group temporal key, GTK. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. TKIP's weak IVs are a known flaw that allows for decryption and packet injection attacks. While WPA2 with AES is secure, WPA with TKIP is vulnerable. Question 15 of 21. A critical infrastructure facility has an extensive network of IoT devices integrated with its OT systems. Following a recent surge in cyber attacks on similar facilities globally, the security team received an anonymous email detailing a possible attack on their systems. The attacker allegedly plans to compromise the IoT devices and use them as a gateway to the OT systems. What should be the immediate action of the security team to mitigate this threat? Option A, establish a secure communication protocol between IoT and OT systems with proper encryption and authentication. Option B, deploy a machine learning-based security solution to monitor and predict potential threats. Option C, initiate a full-scale penetration testing exercise on IoT devices to identify and patch vulnerabilities. Option D, employ an intrusion prevention system, IPS, on the network to detect and block any malicious activities. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is A. Establish a secure communication protocol between IoT and OT systems with proper encryption and authentication. The answer is option D. Exam logic. An IPS can detect and block malicious activity from compromised IoT devices. While other options are good long-term strategies, the immediate action is to block the attack. Question 16 of 21. A red team simulation reveals a malware strain that adapts its behavior based on observed user activity and evades detection by altering its code dynamically. The malware exfiltrates data only when the system is idle and uses encrypted channels for communication. Based on these traits, what is the most probable nature of this malware? Option A, polymorphic virus that changes its signature during replication. Option B, rootkit that hides files and processes from detection. Option C, a worm that exploits known OS vulnerabilities to propagate. Option D, AI-powered malware using machine learning to tailor its execution. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. The malware's adaptive behavior and use of machine learning points to AI-powered malware. Polymorphic viruses change signatures, but don't adapt based on user behavior. Question 17 of 21. In a comprehensive penetration testing scenario, you are charged with the task of gaining detailed insights into a target organization's network configuration, structure, and security posture. To accomplish this task, you plan to employ a multitude of reconnaissance techniques, including an in-depth DNS interrogation. DNS interrogation can reveal various pieces of information that are invaluable to a penetration tester. However, there are certain limitations to the kind of data you can obtain directly through this method. Considering these restrictions, which among the following pieces of information cannot be directly obtained from an extensive DNS interrogation? Correct answer. Option A. The specific usernames and passwords used by the organization's employees. Option B. The estimated geographical location of the organization's servers, derived from their IP addresses. Option C. The IP addresses associated with the organization's multiple mail servers. Option D. The subdomains that are linked with the organization's primary internet domain. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. DNS queries reveal domain mappings, not private credentials like usernames and passwords. Other options are valid DNS data points, making option A the clear incorrect answer. Question 18 of 21. At XYZ Corporation, a multinational firm known for its digital services, the cybersecurity team is tasked with ensuring a robust, secure network environment. This responsibility includes maintaining a keen focus on vulnerability assessment and patch management strategies to guard against potential threats, including the increasingly prevalent zero-day attacks. Recent intelligence has alerted the team to a concerning issue. The primary web server software that the corporation relies on for its critical operations has been hit with a newly discovered zero-day vulnerability. Alarmingly, this vulnerability is not just theoretical. Active exploitations of this vulnerability have been spotted in the wild, making the threat immediate and real. However, the vendor of the software, caught off guard by the discovery, has not yet released an official patch to mitigate this vulnerability. Given these circumstances, what is the first step that the cybersecurity team at XYZ Corporation should undertake to manage the significant risk posed by this unpatched zero-day vulnerability? Option A. Maintain the course of normal operations, but keep a close watch on the web server for any unusual activities or signs of a potential attack. Option B. Proactively shut down the web server completely until an official patch is released by the software vendor to fix the identified vulnerability. Option C. Initiate a regimented protocol of regular backups of the web server data and ensure a thoroughly developed incident response plan is ready for deployment. Option D. Swiftly apply a virtual patch to the affected web server using a web application firewall to temporarily safeguard against potential exploits. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. A virtual patch via a WAF provides immediate protection against an unpatched zero-day. Shutting down the server is not the first step. Question 19 of 21. Which AI-specific threat involves an attacker querying an ML model repeatedly to reconstruct the underlying training data or the model's logic? Correct answer. Option A, model extraction, or inversion. Option B, denial of service, DOS. Option C, data poisoning. Option D, prompt injection. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. Model extraction involves repeatedly querying an AI model to steal its underlying data or logic. This is a direct threat to intellectual property. Question 20 of 21. As an ethical hacker, you've been asked to test an application's vulnerability to SQL injection. In the process, you discover an entry field that appears susceptible. However, the backend database is unknown, and regular SQL injection techniques have so far failed to elicit useful information. Which advanced SQL injection technique should you apply next?
Option A, content-based blind SQL injection. Option B, time-based blind SQL injection. Option C, error-based SQL injection. Option D, union-based SQL injection. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now.
The answer is option B. Exam logic. Time-based blind SQL injection is right because it uses response delays to infer truths when standard techniques fail. The other options require visible errors or known database structures. Question 21 of 21. You've been hired as a certified ethical hacker, CEH, by a large multinational corporation to investigate the unauthorized access of sensitive data from their web application. You suspect that an attacker exploited the authorization scheme involving token-based authentication. The system issues tokens, which expire after 30 minutes. In the server logs, you notice multiple failed login attempts using expired tokens within a 3-minute window, followed by successful access with a valid token. You suspect that an attacker exploited the authorization scheme. What could be the most likely attack scenario? Option A, the attacker took advantage of a race condition, where the system validates expired tokens. Option B, the attacker utilized a token replay attack, confusing the server to accept an expired token. Option C, the attacker captured a valid token before its expiry and used it to gain access. Option D, the attacker brute forced the token generation algorithm to produce a valid token. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. Option A, the attacker took advantage of a race condition, where the system validates expired tokens. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Capturing a valid token before expiry matches the observed pattern. The other options don't explain the expired token attempts followed by success.